Hello there. My name is John Leahy, and I'm the assistant head teacher responsible for assessment and reporting at Kyneton High School. And I'd like to spend some time going through some of the key events that will affect Year 10 students over the coming year. Now, your child should have already experienced a growing intensity to their learning. Over the summer, they chose a narrower band of subjects to study to full qualifications, and therefore the number of lessons they experience has now increased in those subjects. And it is one of those subjects that I want to focus on first. By the end of Year 10, every student will have sat an examination in English literature and received their first full qualification. The English team will help those students all the way through the year, and it will be a key feature during the year as we focus in on getting the highest grades possible in English literature. But it's important to note that it is not just English literature which has externally examined qualification opportunities in Year 10. A number of students have exams during Year 10 that count towards the full qualification. For example, in enterprise and marketing, there is an exam next May which accounts for 50% of the full qualification. Other subjects have units in Year 10 which count towards the full qualification. And of course, there are other subjects for which coursework begins in Year 10, and those coursework marks form a considerable part of the final assessment qualification. Now let's focus on another area in Year 10 where things really step up. In careers, Year 10 students are at that stage now where they have to start thinking really seriously about the decisions they'll make when they leave school, or should they decide to stay, decisions about which subjects to study at sixth form. And so in Year 10, a large proportion of their character and culture work does focus on careers. Every student in Year 10 will have the opportunity to have a careers interview with an external provider, and following that interview, they will agree an action plan. That action plan will be shared with you and shared with form tutors to ensure that every child has the level of support they need in order to achieve their goals. Also, it is hoped that next summer, every student in Year 10 will experience the world of work in a practical scenario. Over the last 2 years, unfortunately, the pandemic has meant that students have been unable to get that valuable work experience in a place of their choosing. But we're confident that this year, students will once more return to the world of work in July. They will have an assembly next week to explain the process to them. And following that, Miss Loveridge will write to you to keep you fully informed with how we're going to do that. The students will be supported by Mr. Perkin to try and get a work experience placement that best meets their needs and their aims for the future. And then in July, it is hoped that these students will all experience the world of work for a week. Miss Loveridge, as I say, is the coordinator for careers education, and she will keep you fully informed as the year goes on. Also, you will see that in character and culture lessons, careers features quite largely. So let's have a look at some of the dates that might affect you as parents in Year 10. At the start of the year, it's all about setting foundations. So, as I said, there'll be an assembly next week by Miss Loveridge to set the foundations for careers and work experience. The first interim report will set very much the foundations for the GCSE grades that students are targeted for. And that the grade that they're on will be seen as a foundation stone on which to build further. I also like to highlight flexible learning days. You'll notice through my summary of events that flexible learning days appear once every 3 months. And these days allow us to focus far more deeply on an area of the character and culture program that enables students to get that deep understanding that they can't get in a single hour of learning during their character and culture lessons. Careers quite often focus is one of the focuses on those days, and so that program will be shared with you before each of the flexible learning days. If we look at January to March time, um, this is key for the Year 10 students. Of course, they're getting close to their first official qualifications. Also, they're far enough into their GCSEs now that any areas that need attention have now become urgent. And so the parents' evening in Year 10 is placed strategically to allow for any intervention that's required to have sufficient time to have an impact. Once again, another interim report will be sent to you. You receive a report every term from us. And we will raise the stakes on the English literature by running a mock exam. Year 10 students will probably have had a number of exams in English literature up to then, but the mock exam will be done at the same time as Year 11 students, and therefore will give those Year 10 students that feeling that this is real. It will take place before Easter. Once students return after Easter, we're really into the nitty-gritty of Year 10 now. The Flexible Learning Day will focus on areas that are relevant to Year 10 as they approach work experience. There'll be a full suite of Year 10 mock exams so that by June, you will know where the student stands with just 1 year of education left. And as I mentioned earlier, a number of subjects will now have official qualification examinations. In June, you'll receive the annual report. The annual report will sum up the achievements of the whole year, will cover all of the mock exams that were sat, and also the students will build up to the key date of the 11th of July when hopefully they will embark on their work experience. I'd like to highlight August as well. You'll receive plenty of notice as to the date that the GCSE results will be published. And of course, Year 10 are treated in the same way as Year 11 students because they will have sat some externally assessed units and, of course, their English Literature GCSE. And therefore, students have that opportunity to come in and pick up their results during the summer holidays, just as Year 11 and Year 13 students do. Now, we will keep you fully informed and give you more details as to these events as they approach. But if there are any questions relating to any of the events to come or any issues regarding your child, the form tutor is the best first point of contact. If it's specifically subject related, then the subject teacher might be a better first port of call. But these are the people who best know your child, will be best able to answer any queries you have, and certainly will be able to point you in the right direction if they don't know the answer to a query. So, take a good look at the videos that have come together with this one on the information evening. There's lots of valuable information from Miss Lana about teaching and learning, about the English and maths curriculum as we build up towards the GCSE, and more detail about the character and culture curriculum. Um, it's very valuable, and we feel it is something that you can return to again and again as the year goes on. Contact your child's form tutor if there are any issues that have arisen from the videos, or if there are any issues you just want to raise, and help your students, even at this early stage, to begin their preparations for the year ahead, bearing in mind the calendar of events that you've seen. The better prepared the child is, the more value and currency they will get out of the year's events. Hopefully this video will have helped frame the year for you, and if there are any specific questions relating to this video, please get in touch with me via inquiries. Thank you. Goodbye.